Hi guys, so today I'm going to be telling you the 5 things they don't tell you about becoming a software developer. Now number 1 is Google is not bad. Google is your best friend throughout your development career. I know in the movies and like Mr. Robot, stuff like that, they sit down in front of a computer and just type solidly and bish bash bosh it works. Absolute crap. There are some developers I know who can do that. I can get base level programs up and running straight away, but when you start getting into the nitty gritty, you're not going to remember everything. And I know I've touched on the subject a few times in the past, but imposter syndrome is a big part of why people think this is bad. I used to think that Googling was bad and meant I wasn't good at what I do, and this couldn't be further from the truth. Google is the most important tool that I have. I can write a lot more code from memory than I used to be able to, and I can solve a lot more issues like just off memory. But you can't be expected to remember absolutely everything to do with whatever language you're working on, whatever you're working on. It's impossible. And to be honest, I still Google how to spell bloody English words. You're just not going to get it all straight away first time. Another thing to add to that is projects would take 10 times longer if you didn't use Google. If you're sat there going through a book, and books are good, don't get me wrong, I use them to learn at the beginning, but if you're going through a book trying to find the exact page, trying to do this, or you're trying to just write it yourself, it's going to take 10 times longer, and it can also make your project a lot worse, because if you're writing long paragraphs of code when it could be done shorthand, then why are you doing it that way? And then in the future you're going to have to come back if there's errors, if there's bugs, and anyone who's going to add to it, it's just going to turn into a spaghetti of code. It's so much better to just use Google. Do not be afraid of it. Now number 2 is like a concept that I struggled to get only until like a year and a half ago, and it's quicker is not always better. Sometimes taking longer and doing things right first saves you so much more time in the long run. And it's like this picture that I'll put up now. If you ask a painter to draw something in 10 seconds, 1 minute and 10 minutes, the differences between each step is going to be huge. It's like if you look at the difference between 10 seconds and 10 minutes, if you think about this and blow it up, if you have a project and you say something will take 3 months and they say I want it done in 1, how many corners are you going to have to cut and how much crap are you going to introduce? It's not worth rushing work and doing it sloppy, because you're going to start making mistakes. And if someone comes up to you and says I need it done in this, sometimes you have to compromise, but it's best to try and push towards your side rather than theirs, because they need to understand that this could cause issues, and it puts too much stress on the developer. And especially if you're a small team, sometimes it just can't be done, and it's better to under promise and over deliver than to over promise and under deliver. Always aim a bit further. And that's something that I was not told at the beginning, and I used to be given stupid timelines and always try and hit them, and it never ever works. And it's always better now that I know to say it will take 3 months to get it done in 2, and they're much happier with that than me saying it'll be done in 1 and me taking 2, and then I've got a whole bunch of Now number 3 is another subject I've touched on in the past, and it's homeworking. For me personally, what I wasn't told is the stress and the lack of motivation it can bring to you. I know this is not for everyone, it's not what I'm saying, but it's not like a holiday. It's your home and work-life balance is thrown out of the loop. I struggle to find motivation sometimes, and I've heard so many people say it's a job where you can work anywhere in the world. Like, it's great that you've got this job, you can go anywhere, work anywhere, and for everywhere that I've worked at, it's completely false. No company that I know is going to want them working in the UK, you working in Australia and having a 12-hour time difference. It doesn't work. So if there's issues, if there's errors, you're going to be asleep while they're trying to fix them. And I see people working in Germany in their offices in London, that's an hour's difference. That's not too bad. But the fact that everyone seems to think that it's this job that you can go anywhere, unless you're working for yourself or you're a freelance, it's not how it really works. I also find the issue of taking days off when I'm at home don't feel like days off anymore, because I am at home. And obviously everything that I've just said is based upon my experience and my feelings. So if any of you have had different experiences, please let me know in the comments. I'd like to know where these companies are where I can move abroad and still work. Now, point number 4, I know in my previous video I said how I got to where I am without a CS degree, and that is my point of number 4. You do not need a degree to be a good developer, to be a high up developer. You just need to be highly motivated and determined to learn and improve constantly. Some people think that you need a degree to get anywhere in software development, and it's so untrue. The thing that I think you need most is you need to be able to show that you can do the work and show that you can learn by yourself. And being self-taught is kind of proving that you can learn on your own time and teach yourself good skills. The only difference I think between having a degree and not having one is you need to earn that trust of the company. You need to prove yourself a little bit more than you would if you had a degree, because there's not a piece of paper saying that you know how to do this. You've got to show off your skills, show off projects, like have a portfolio, like have a GitHub repo just full of stuff. Just make sure that you're showing off. But yeah, it's another one. When I was younger, I was told that I probably need to go to university to be a software developer. No, just need to be able to prove that I can do it and still learn and be motivated to keep improving myself with newer technologies and prove to everyone that, yeah, I've done it without it. Now, point number 5, and my final point, is devs are not these massive introverts. And you'll find that most successful devs actually have very, very good people skills. And I know films sort of make out, yeah, like they sit in a basement, kind of like the guy out of South Park or someone of Silicon Valley. They're the two extremes that people go to, and it's completely wrong. Now, don't get me wrong, I have met both types of people, like the guy of South Park who sits and plays WoW in his basement, or people of Silicon Valley who are quite snobby and think they're the best. But that's not the case. And don't get me wrong, in my current job, in our old office, we did stay in the basement, but we'll quickly skip past that. But you don't sit somewhere, not see sun, and sit at a computer for 15 hours a day. And I know some people do, and that's fine. And I sit at my computer for so long, certain days, just either working or on my own personal time. But you'll find that you have to have good people skills, because you're going into meetings with clients, you're going into meetings with different teams. You need to be able to talk to people without putting jargon in, otherwise they're just not going to want to communicate because they have no idea what you're on about. And I'm not saying you need to have good people skills to get to the best, but I'm saying it is a good thing to have, and it's a thing that's not touched upon going into being a software developer. You think, I personally, I don't enjoy sitting and chatting to people in meetings for 2 hours. I find it tedious, but they don't tell you that it's an important part of the job role is being able to go into these meetings and get your point across and make sure you get the client in. And I think that's one of the most important ones that's not touched upon at all. But yeah, so these have been my 5 points of things that they don't tell you about becoming a software developer. I hope you've enjoyed. If you know of any more that they don't tell you, please say it in the comments. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I'd like to say a special thank you to everyone who has subscribed, left a comment, left a like. It really means a lot. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.